Jake's.
I'm ready.
So am I.
You guys can go now.
Alright.
Oh, okay.
Oh, quick,
Why-
I think it's something cool to
the
say.
stream.
Uh,
Hold on a second.
Dank memes.
Oh, I know. Here we go. Did you know that pigs are intelligent animals?
No.
Pigs
You're
have
intelligent?
pigs have an excellent sense of smell. There are also around 2 billion pigs in the world. Isn't that interesting,
Oh,
Where's
really?
this going?
Let us explore further into... wait, hang on a sec. 10 surprising facts about pigs. I'm sure number 4 will surprise you.
What is
Newborn
this?
piglets learn to run to their mother's voices and can recognize their own names by the time they're 2 weeks old. Sows have even been known to sing to their young whilst nursing. You think that pigs are slow and lumbering? As it turns out, they're not at all. Adult pigs can run at speeds of up to 11 miles per hour, or in other words, they can run a 7-minute mile. Could you do any better? If you've ever suggested that someone was sweating like a pig, then you'd be wrong, because pigs have hardly any sweat glands at all,
So this
and
is
one of
just
the
gonna
best
be
ways for them to cool down is
Shut
to
up, Callum.
wallow in all that glorious mud.
so this is just gonna be
Shut up, Callum.
no.
Shut the fuck up, this is an educational stream now.
It's an
Fucking
educational
hell, Callum.
stream.
This is our stream.
Really? Okay. Well, welcome, guys. Welcome to episode 1.
Fun with pigs.
Fun with
Oh
pigs.
yeah.
Or Fur Fag and Friends. And I am with the Santa himself, and the Nomad himself, and a guy called. What do we call you? Oh my god. Okay,
And
I'm
when
with
that
Santa himself, the Nomad himself, and I'm with. What do I call you?
I muted him. Continue, Jed.
No, I want to hear what I want to hear what he has to say.
Unmute.
Call you.
What do we call me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. Give me a minute so I can think of something.
Oh, fuck my ears, no.
What was that? Was that a pig squeal?
No, that was no man.
Oh, that would have been the perfect opportunity. Would have really helped my point when I was discussing pig facts. Ah,
Pig facts.
oh well. Alright, shall we continue?
Yeah.
Sure. Go, Jetty.
And when they're not squealing, pigs communicate constantly with each other, and more than 20 different vocalizations have been identified, from Will saying I'm hungry.
Really.
Mm-hmm. When they're not squealing or talking, pigs will eat almost anything, including human bones. In 2012, a farmer in Oregon, America, was eaten by his pigs after having a heart attack and falling into their enclosure.
So
Oh.
By the time a concerned relative came looking for him, only his dentures were left.
So is the podcast gonna be about pigs now?
Shut up, Callum. This is very important.
Who knows,
Very
I can make this about ducks too if you'd like.
I've got 7 fast facts about llamas.
So
Alright, well,
the
we're
podcast
up
so far has been about pigs.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're listening to Jetty.
No.
to
Okay.
all those who, are new to this stream. Hi, my name is Jed, and welcome to Fun with Pigs and
Fun with
other
pigs.
random animals.
Oh my god.
Let us continue.
What?
Okay, so today we have 4 people, and later we're gonna have a special guest, We're gonna record that one and put it up on my channel later.
Oh yeah, that sounds good to me. Hopefully by then we'll have covered llamas and pigs and probably moved on to
Ducks.
donkeys.
Wait, the ducks.
All the ducks, mate.
I like ducks.
They may be indiscriminate eaters, but pigs are also highly intelligent and incredibly social animals.
Alright,
When
let's
kept in a
stop
group,
talking
they will
about
snuggle
animals
close to
now.
one.
And let's get on to the podcast, I'm sure.
But let us ask ourselves this question. What are animals? We ourselves are animals, yet we identify ourselves with different terms to separate ourselves, purely based on the fact that we're intelligent to our perspective. To dolphins, maybe we're the animals. Alright, now what do you want to talk about?
Well, we could talk
My
about...
turn. I'm talking about 7 fast
No,
facts.
we're not talking about...
7 fast facts about llamas.
animals. No.
Alright, hang on a sec. Callum, what do you propose we do?
Well, we should actually talk about something instead of animals.
Alright,
Being racist.
alright. Propose a topic for us to talk about.
Llamas.
La- I sort of want to talk about llamas, but at the same
I
time...
have 7 fast facts about llamas. They're fast
Well, they better be
facts.
funny.
They're not. They're 7 fast facts about llamas.
Llamas?
Llamas. They're in Minecraft. Hey.
Yep, this has just become a Minecraft stream, people.
Yeah, this is Minecraft now.
Where's Bandicam?
Oh,
I'll be
you
honest,
played-
though, even though everyone hates on you if you play Minecraft, it really isn't that bad of a game. It's actually fun. A lot of people just despise it because of the community of 12-year-olds who play it. Especially when you look up Minecon Cringe on YouTube, you just see every single person that plays, like, all the cringy kids who play Minecraft in real life. Am I right? Like, the amount of time people put into that game when they put actually, like, make some actual maps. Like, they literally recreate, like, things from TV shows and all that shit. No one has anything to say?
I want to
Well,
talk about llamas.
We're all really stoked for the llamas.
Yeah, we are,
Fine.
Calvin.
We'll talk about the llamas. Go.
This
Oh, hang on.
afternoon. Oh,
Before we start,
man.
I just found this great one. It's this picture of a pig, and above it says,
it
"Every
in
day I'm
Discord.
truffling."
Put it in Discord.
Oh,
Alright.
We want to see
Good
this.
for the kids at home.
Hey.
Show
Yeah,
us the
guys.
picture. We all want to see it.
How was
Come
your
on, Daddy. Come on. There we go.
Every day.
Yeah.
Truffle.
Ain't it swell?
Get it, kids? Because we're referencing a song from 2012.
Every day I'm truffling.
Or was it 2011 that came out?
No one cares, llamas.
I think that was 2012. I think that was the shit back in those days.
Although I do remember LMFAO dragging their sorry asses out of the cesspit that is the music industry this today, back in 2011, because they released Party Rock or whatever it was.
Party Rock Anthem.
yeah.
Yeah, Party Rock Anthem.
That was the shit though. That's what all the cool kids used to listen to.
Yeah, you were a dumb meme boy and deserve to be picked on if you didn't listen to Dude with an Afro
Oh yeah.
tell you everything was great and to randomly dance and consume glorious amounts of alcohol.
You weren't cool if you didn't listen to that shit though. If you weren't cool if you didn't have that fucking album.
Oh yeah, you know, you're also not cool if you didn't sing along with Dynamite by Bruno Mars.
You weren't cool if you couldn't actually sit through the entirety of Sexy and I Know It.
I didn't do any of that stuff. I was too busy playing Minecraft.
Really?
Haha.
I'm not joking.
Yeah, the majority of this I did at school because, you know, edgy 11 and 12-year-olds like us didn't go outside. We hung out in the it was like a big ass center room linking like 5 different classrooms. So we hung out in there and played music.
So you played LMFAO?
Yep.
Wow, I remember when I think it was like grade 5, where we were gonna have like a grade 5 party at the end of the year or something on primary school. And some kid brought the Party Rock Anthem album, and he thought he was the coolest kid ever.
Oh, don't forget, Year 6 graduation for me, which is 2012. Decided that the best thing we could do for our graduation was be all piled up in the gym and blaring even more party rock and LMFAO.
We weren't even
That
allowed
was
to do that because we went to a Catholic school. We had to sing in fucking church.
oh, you should have. You
Hey
should have.
guys, hey guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get ridiculous. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, ooh.
Oh my god. Does that exist somewhere on the depths of the YouTube?
Let's make it. But not now. It's time for 7 fast facts about llamas.
Alright, go for the llamas then.
Okay. This afternoon, 2 llamas escaped from a mobile petting zoo and led authorities on a sometimes high speed, sometimes limousine chase through Sun City, Arizona for nearly an hour. Here are a few fun facts about the camelids. According to legend, the Spaniards, who had never seen llamas before, kept asking what they were called. And so, Incan thought llama was a Spanish name for the animals. But according to the BBC, the story is not quite accurate. In fact, the expression llama was there before the Spanish arrived. It's of... I can't say that because I only speak English. Quechuan origin, and was borrowed by many languages, together with the other Quechuan words such as conda or puma. Llamas are native to the South American Andes, and they were first imported to the United States in the late 1800s for display in zoos. In the early 1900s, newspaper magnate William Randolph Hearst bought 12 of their... I want to stop this now. I don't want to talk about llamas.
I think llamas are...
Really?
Llamas can reach speeds of up to 35 miles per hour. Llama dung makes great fuel.
Who would
Show
want to have a
somebody
pet llama?
commitment. Jeez, show me some freaking commitment. How do you think we're supposed to be famous and rich if you bloody won't read fucking fast llama facts?
I can't read.
You can't read.
I've just been
Of course you
making
can
stuff all the
read.
time.
Of course you can read, you're not black.
Are you from the south, Ethan? Are you from the south?
Well, do you count Victoria as from the south?
Sure.
Llamas are pack animals and can carry
Okay, we get it.
50 to 75
we get it.
pounds.
20
miles. If you overload the animals, they refuse to move. According to the National Geographic, an overloaded llama will often lie down on the ground and hiss, or
Llamas.
even kick at their owners until their burden is lessened.
Llamas are cool.
It's cool. Whoa.
Oh my god, that was not interesting.
That was not great at all.
Nah, 10 out of minus 1,000. Really bad.
Jetty, go.
What?
Make this entertaining.
Okay, I've got more vile jokes here if anyone's interested.
Yeah.
Oh, yo, I'll join in that.
Alright, let's get right into the news. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. Here we go. What's the difference between a barcode and an Ethiopian family portrait? Nothing.
Why?
Oh.
What does a black guy do after sex? About 15 to life.
Really?
Yep, by that I mean 15 years to life in prison.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Because it's rape.
What's black, has 8 legs, and makes a woman scream. Gang rape.
Really?
How do you know Princess Diana had dandruff?
They found her head and shoulders in the glove.
Are you on the same side as me? Are you stealing my jokes?
No, I already knew it.
Is this stream going anywhere, or is it just terrible?
Shut the fuck up.
Is it just
This
bad?
is great content. The only bad content is you telling us we're bad content.
Are you sure?
I liked the llamas part.
Right. Say, for instance, we suddenly did good content, for instance. How else do you suppose we're gonna get, like, completely out there if we don't lure in the kids with edgy memes?
By hosting our own individual live streams.
We have to appeal to the young ones
We
first.
call it the Dank Memes podcast.
I don't know.
Just stick with what we've got.
The Dank
You
Memes
just-
podcast. We just throw Dat
You
Boy
could-
and Harambe or whatever that
Yeah, sure.
shit.
And with
I
that,
remember
I'll
when
have
we
to
went
go.
into Queensland.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. I
Bye.
went to Queensland.
Be well.
No.
This is when Dat Boy was a thing. You know,
Okay, and apparently I'm back.
Okay, you're
Oh,
back.
okay.
This is when Dat Boy was a thing.
Dad boy. Oh
Yep.
shit, what up?
And I remember this is like a kid's place, like this motel or whatever. So like a lot of kids come here, and I was sitting on the deck, and I could actually hear them screaming, "Dat boy, Dat boy, Dat boy."
Well, that's not as bad as do you remember when they had some student teachers last year? I believe one of them was called Ben, like Benjamin Roach or something like that.
Yes.
Yes, Benny Boy was great. Anyway, so I'm with him and we're chatting around and dicking around on the internet, and I tell him about this time that basically I'm cruising memes, and apparently, some person had the bright idea of in a classroom putting up like an entire wall covering image of Harambe, and underneath it scrawled is "Books out for Harambe." Exactly.
Wow.
Yep. And that is the exact reaction I was hoping for. Complete and utter disbelief. And maybe a
Just
little
wow.
cringe.
What has memes done to this world? Seriously.
I don't know, I think people should
It's
just let
time
that
to
gorilla be
stop.
dead.
It's time to
I-
stop the memes.
I'm pretty sure people should stop flogging that dead gorilla. He's been dead for about... He was actually shot on the 18th of May, so we should be
18th of
right.
May.
No, not May. I think it was May. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was May.
You know the anniversary's kind of come over soon, and
Yep.
it's gonna be interesting. The internet's just gonna be filled of Rip Harambe. You know, greatest meme 2016. I don't know. A lot of people say that's like the greatest.
We are number
meme.
one.
We are number one is the greatest meme of 2016. Same for Gabe. I'd say Gabe because, you know, Gabe passed away not too long ago.
Harambe was actually dead in May or whatever, so the anniversary's passed. But the meme itself actually only took off in like June or something.
Yeah. It's just, yeah. Because that first, everyone was just like, "Oh, devastating! Gorilla gets shot after takes some kid or whatever," and then like not too long after, just fucking the internet just
Someone
went crazy on that fucking one gorilla.
Somebody decides that they like gorillas a bit too much and whips their dick out.
Do you feel like it was like a 4chan thing though? Like, do you think they?
Oh, it
started
almost
it all?
certainly was.
Yeah, I feel like they started it and it just became like a normie thing, just went all over Facebook and shit. Because it's the
Well-
first time there's been like a meme that's been as mainstream like that, like that's as offensive as that is. You know what I mean? Because like most
Yeah.
of the 4chan memes are pretty offensive, and they don't really become that big, except Harambe. Like Harambe was.
But let's be real. let's be real, it was a special case because that gorilla was a better parent than the one who dropped the kid in there.
You know it's true. Oh man. Yeah. And then there was Dat Boy, and I don't understand how that became a thing. That was like
Lost.
that was apparently like a thing on Tumblr where someone commented on the picture saying like Dat Boy or something. And then just I don't know, just became a thing.
The earliest rendition of Dat Boy was actually, I think, you know that 3D game about Pac-Man? Where it was like this really weird 3D model of Pac-Man running down a room, and it says, "Here come Dat Boy." And so it's really around there that it first starts to pick up steam. And somewhere along the way, somebody's found this picture of a frog on a unicycle and decided, hey, let's just strap it on this. And thus the meme was born.
Wow. And now it just
Yep.
became a thing.
Yep.
Wow. Really?
And to be quite honest, I think we've got far too many frogs on the meme list.
Oh yeah.
Pepe!
Pepe is the shit boy.
No, I'm talking about the real nigga, Kermit.
T-Lizard.
Kermit the Frog.
He had a real MVP sitting there sipping his damn Linton iced tea or some
Lipton.
shit. Lipton iced tea, roasting absolutely friggin' everyone.
Oh my god. How beautiful.
Yep, you can't go wrong with Kermit.
You really can't, man. Kermit the Frog, such an underrated meme.
And you know, it's actually kind of funny how speaking of Pepe, how people decided that because they didn't like that Pepe was communicating things that weren't like concurrent with their ideology, they just decided, hey, let's just call it a hate symbol.
Just because someone saw Pepe on Trump.
And see, this is why, yeah, don't forget, in a Hillary thing, someone shouted out Pepe, and so people actually took that seriously. Like at a
Some
Hillary,
people should just stay off the internet, seriously.
I think it's weird, and it's actually quite mind-boggling how someone can take something as so obviously a joke, so obviously, or I don't know, maybe it's not obvious, maybe it's because that, but what we're really looking at is that the people who they look for bad things, and so that's all they'll find. In ideologies these days, like, I don't know, a select movement that I shall not name, uh, people are always focusing on the negative things they can find about things. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, like, the mind sees only what it looks for.
Yeah. Instead of trying to look on the bright side, when they see something that's bad, they always look on the bad side and just shit all over it.
And I'd like to also point out that if a minority's problems are all solved, then all the legions of activists would actually have to go out and get a real job. So it's
Yeah.
not like they're gonna let actual peace happen.
Hmm. Oh man. Did you yeah, did you see that well, I don't know what they were protesting about, but like Shia LaBeouf was doing a fucking live stream thing, like in this
Oh,
place.
don't get me started on fucking Shire.
Why were they live streaming again? I forget.
Season 4's on now. That's what we've got. We've gone to call it. So basically, Shire decides that one day he doesn't like Trump, and so what he goes and does is he goes and as an art exhibition, he scrawls on a flag just like a regular white flag and plants the flag in the ground, and it's a large flag, huge flagpole, and on that flag reads, "He will not divide us." And so what the cucks and I, or pretty much everyone also, describes as weaponized autism, decides that on 4chan they'll band up and they'll find this flag, and they'll replace it with the Make America Great Again flag. And so, pretty much everybody on politics and on the like Reddit, as well as everyone on 4chan, pretty much, they decide to band together with their weaponized idiocy, and through the combination of a very select, a very specialized skill set, they're able to use the movement of birds in the area, stars in the sky, and aircraft activity to pinpoint where the first flag is and successfully replace it with the Make America Great Again flag. Before this, it just starts off in an art exhibition, like in a museum, but Make America Great Again could not be stopped, and pretty much people were fucking with the stream. So, because this is on like a forever recording camera, I'll look something up. I'll just put it in the Discord. He will not divide
Well,
us.
when you get that
dot
chance, like
X,
4chan will
Y,
go straight
Z.
for that shit. You know, Brittany Venti, the biggest troll ever, like, decided to go over there and scream, "Fucking normal fags. Get the fuck off my board," like...
Yep. Now
ah.
there are. No, okay, so the second time we're on the first time it's outside when we talk about the first time the flag's in the air and stuff, but that's technically the second time because the first time's in the museum, right? So the third time is he just moves location. It just moves location, and so people use aircraft activity, and sun movements, and cloud in the area, and local weather, and they also determine where it is. If y'all want to do a quick Google search, I'm pretty sure you'd easily find out where the first two were. But the third, the third one was also found pretty easily. And then we come to season 4. And do you know what season 4 is, guys?
Not exactly.
No? Well, having been fed up with that, they've digitalized it. And by typing in this URL, they actually had it on a US server, but it already got taken down really quickly. So on this URL here, you'll find that it's hosted on an anonymous XYZ server. He will not divide us, and it's been virtualized because people keep fucking with the flag. Because they found the fourth one, and it turns out that the "He will not divide us" flag was divided away from the country of America because they hid it in a building in friggin' England.
Wow.
Yep, which is incredibly ironic.
But here's the thing, though. Did they get Trump out? No.
No,
So,
so
yeah.
like they're allowed to bitch about it, but he's still their fucking president.
It pretty much just became a meme. Like, just a bunch of people just came over and just trolled the shit out of it.
Yeah.
That's basically what happened. It's the same.
Oh well.
I feel so intrigued.
Truth.
I haven't
Yeah.
said anything. I've just been listening to you explain
Yeah.
all of it. Wow.
I mean, there's so much data you can find on it on the internet, because let's face it, it's born and it continues to live, albeit is struggling to end its pitiful suffering, but on the internet. But
Oh, well, as they say, you know, if it goes on the internet, it stays on the internet.
yeah,
People copy
and
that shit and get
I'd
copy
say,
pasted.
yeah, I'd say Shah didn't really think this through when the best thing he could come up with was to hide the flag in the land of Kek itself.
Oh,
Kek
man.
sees all, especially in his realm, the glorious internet.
Oh, yes.
And so, if you click said link and nothing happens, it's almost entirely possible that the server is experiencing issues such as DDoS attacks and attempted hackings to change the image, which is not going to be surprising once it
Do they
happens,
have like a
because
DDoS protector on it, or?
Nothing can be protected from DDoS. That's the only issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there is those like small DDoS protector things they can add, but like usually top tier
They're
people can get past that shit.
all a DDoS protector is. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but all a DDoS protector would be is a script that cuts off ping requests if it happens too many times within a second or something.
Hmm. Wow.
Yeah, and I believe so. Yeah, I mean, if you're running Google Chrome, which I'm not, because I'm not a fucking pleb, um, you can inspect the element of the flag, and you can. I'm pretty sure people have already managed to find the image that the flag is broadcasting as a PNG file.
Oh yeah.
So,
So is it a GIF?
yeah, it's not a GIF. It's just a PNG, but it's on this. It's on like a white piece of paper. Essentially, it's just he will not divide us in text or whatever on a piece of paper that's on this digital like world that's flying within a virtual breeze in like what looks to be a desert, but that's literally just really shitty level design on their part.
Ah yeah. Well,
So
fucking bunch of
yeah,
Trump protesters. I don't think they're very, all techie and all over the internet.
yeah. Also, so yeah, I've on my screen I've typed in "he will not divide us.xyz" because that's the correct URL.
Yeah.
But once pressing it, it comes up with the title on the tab, but
And
it doesn't
says you
show
need this for the
anything,
graphics card or something like that.
and nothing happens for me. Well,
Yeah.
I'll first allow all this page. We'll
Is it like
see.
a video on it? Like someone put it up on YouTube?
It's like a video. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I'm not entirely sure how I'll stream this. If I don't know. I could probably get OBS up, but I'm not sure if I can actually do it. But what I can do is I'll take a print screen. Here we go. And I'll grab that print screen, and I will
If you
dump
want to send a
this.
screenshot, I can put it on the stream.
All right, I'll put it in chat, and then you can place it on the stream.
I can record it. Seconds.
Oh yeah. Okay. So that's
Yeah.
is that what just happens?
It's basically just imagine that flag, but it's flying in a non-existent breeze in a desert. I'll take another one if you like. Here we go.
Ah, I see. I see.
I'll paste it.
I'll put it up on the stream.
I believe the second one might give you a better
Oh, hit zoom
idea
out,
of
like, really
what we're
far.
looking at.
Yeah.
And yeah, pretty much. Ethan, have you tried looking at it?
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't come up for me 'cause it says I need something for my graphics card or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
up
I've
on
put.
stream. It's
Yeah.
it's basically just flag and you want
Just it's a
to
very basic flag. They've put minimal effort. I mean, if you can't immediately see it, you can see that there is very clear edging issues with the textures, which is literally just one texture repeated throughout. I'll take it one more so that people can see how little
put up
shits
Discord,
people
but
give about
to be honest, here's
this.
the thing. What has it done so far? Like, what are they proving by doing this?
Oh well, it achieves absolutely nothing really, because those who are in power aren't savvy with the internet. I could only assume, and if I don't think what kind of commitment do you have to instating some sort of agenda if you're going to be put off by what some star who was in Transformers says on the internet?
Yeah,
I mean, really.
like, is Trump even aware of this shit?
He probably just considers them trash. I mean,
Yeah.
there's not. He's probably just completely ignored it.
Yeah,
And I'm not.
the
I
amount
would
of people
say
go to do these things, and it's like, well, what are you gonna do it? It's not gonna do anything.
I'd like to point out to the kids at home who are wondering, My political view is pretty simple. I don't give a shit about anyone, because they're all dickheads. You've got the far right, which is, I believe the far right is just as toxic as the far left, but I think the slightly to the right people and slightly to the left people are okay. But remember, everyone has their own warped ideologies in a world where we can choose only the opinions that affirm and confirm our biases. So if you surround yourself with only those ideas that you agree with, you'll never learn anything different. And that's why you've got people on Tumblr who are like thinking, is anybody even straight these days? When in fact, as it turns out, 97% of the world's population is straight.
That's interesting. I'm sure there's like more countries that have more gay and lesbian and transgender people.
Yeah, yeah,
But I
sure.
think
I mean,
rest of the world, it would just,
every country has it, and that's
yeah,
not to discriminate against them or anything. But this is just a select few people who can't really be reasoned with.
yeah.
But yeah, I think I don't agree with many of the things Trump wants to do. But let's face it, I don't think very many people agreed with Hillary either.
But
And
here's
it's
the thing: like, once the next
uh,
election comes over, they're gonna be voting straight for Hillary because
oh
they're already
Well, if
regretting on what
Hillary's won.
happened. Even though Hillary
yeah.
is a bit of a
They
bitch and
should have
everyone hates her.
gone for Bernie.
But here's the
Oh, but
thing, Ethan. Like,
Bernie got the boot.
yeah, here's the thing. If they didn't have any, if they didn't have you could vote or you couldn't vote, you know what I mean. Like, you don't have to vote over there. But if you did, you do realize that Trump wouldn't get anywhere close. In fact, he wouldn't even get into close to even running for president. If you
And
think about it.
in this day and age, it just tells us all what media can do,
Yeah,
because half of the country abstained and nobody voted for Jill Stein, who was a perfectly good candidate. They were
People realize
they were
that.
told there were no other choices but Trump or Hillary.
Yeah, I know.
it's pretty
And
crazy.
so
It's
like
just like
here in the magical land of Oz, we've got obligatory voting, so we get fined if we don't vote for the dickheads in office right now.
Yeah,
But our major problem is that we're basically just in a contest of who can be more liberal.
yeah.
We've got like no reasonable right party in politics in Australia. It's just Labor and Liberal.
Hey, at least we voted in good old Peter Garrett.
We didn't we
We're not the
didn't
only
vote.
country that votes our celebrities in, huh?
Oh, we certainly didn't choose Turnbull.
Tony Abbott, now he's a celebrity. Put him
Oh,
on the Celebrity Apprentice.
Tony Abbott's a nut job. I mean, he's a laughing stock in the. He was a laughing stock in the global politics. Like
Gotta love
people
Tony and his
laughed at him.
speedo.
The budgie smugglers.
Oh god. And then even Julia Gillard was a laughing stock.
hmm I mean, honestly, I reckon John Howard should have been in power a little longer, because I reckon they only gave him the sack because he went and tried to get Gina Reinhardt to pay her taxes for a change. So you know how the government is ruled by money. So basically, he just got the boot. But besides that, I think there's uh there's probably a lot of good out here in this cruel world of ours. But I've yet to see any of it on the internet anyway. I mean, these days in society, everyone's just more and more pessimistic. And it put a bit of a downer on things. That's alright.
You know, crap will always be crap. Shit will always be shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's freaking. It's funnier because we have more. It's so much easier to communicate now. Now we hear
Mm-hmm.
everything because like back in the old days, like in World War II, people would be lucky if they would hear something that was actually happening on
Well, back
yeah,
back
on the
then on
radio.
TV, back then on TV, they didn't have all this shit where it was like really dramatic music for somebody cooking an egg and then
Yeah.
failing at it. I mean, it was everything. It was just news. You were actually told what was going on. These days we're swamped with so much media that it's impossible these days for us to pick what's right from the wrong. I mean, we're in
Yeah.
the information age. We've long since passed the period of time where we had enough information that we could, like the average person, could comfortably sift through to find their facts. Now you have to actively go out of your way to find both sides of a story, rather than the
You
one
have
that
to
appeals to
do
the
more
lowest common
research to
denominator.
find your opinion on something. Like you need to look into things more to actually find the truth about things.
And that puts off most people in the general sense. I know a lot of people probably do their research, but there's also a lot of people who don't. And so
Social
that's why
justice warriors.
I wouldn't say social justice warriors, because on the inside, they believe what they're doing is right. Just like I'm sure we believe what we do is right. Just like
But do
anyone.
they ever look on the bright side of anything?
I'm sure they do, actually, when they're,
Well, I'm
I
sure
don't know.
some do, but I'm sure there is like some that definitely don't. Especially if you look up social justice warrior cringe compilation.
Yeah, well, it's simply a case of, they've been had drummed into them that they're a victim, when really the only thing oppressing them is themselves in their bid to become the biggest victim out of
Are you
everyone.
sexually harassing me?
No, I'm not. And see, somebody who's an SJW would probably say that actually.
Yeah.
That they'd probably
Yeah.
fabricate something. First thing they'd do is they might try and shut down argument. I mean, there's probably perfectly good people out there who do align themselves with the SJWs.
Yeah.
And so basically, the more extreme people, they'd probably instantly, spout the whole, you're a Nazi, you're a sexist, you're homophobic, you're
Fascist.
transphobic, and you're fascist, and you're literally Hitler. And it's things like that that's incredibly ironic from some people who preach peace yet censor those by calling them fascists. I mean, they're the most censoring group of minorities that I know of, as far as I'm concerned.
It's the sad truth.
Mm-hmm. So don't forget the whole whites can't be racist, and if you're white, then you're inherently racist. No, no, whites can't. Right? No, hang on a second. Whites can't be victims. They can't. You can't be racist to a white person.
That's so
Remember that?
ridiculous. Like, what equality is
Because
that?
it isn't. Because
Just because there's been more racism towards black people and other people, why that doesn't mean that a white
I think
Caucasian
the big
person can't be discriminated.
I think a big thing too is also, instead of saying fuck the police, I think the best way to solve this is to stop breaking the fucking law. I mean,
Fuck the police coming straight from the underground.
mm-hmm. And but they're like, I'm not trying to be racist or anything, although I might come across as racist, but like most of the black deaths in America are black on black. It's not like we're killing them all. And like let's be real though. I mean, the worst things we've had done to the world because of black protesting is pretty much just riots. Whereas the worst thing whites have done Well, I'd just point you in the direction of one of many of Hitler's military marches and parades. Because let's face it, people we've what year is it? It's 2017, and so that would mark it about 4 years that this incessant campaign of demonizing the white person has been going on. And I mean, sure, there's much to be desired on our part when it comes to making sure that everyone's equal. But as far as they're concerned, they think that hate is a cure for hate, and quite honestly, that's the biggest problem we face today.
Oh yeah. There's just yeah. Today is
See,
just crazy.
people need to stop acting like being offended actually means anything.
Well, being offended normally means like I don't know. The word offended is becoming warped these days. I mean, if I said I was offended, that means that something has hurt my feelings personally, like on a personal level. And people doing it more and more do one of two things. They devalue the word offended itself, much like they've devalued all the other slurs they chuck at people. And also, they view the word offended to simply mean pretty much anything that conflicts with your ideology. And today's information age of communication between people and a tendency to just hang out with the groups they choose on the internet creates more and more people swinging far to the left or right in social groups. So of course that's going to create some fun when they meet each other. So they're like, oh,
Oh yeah.
not
It's World
not
War Three
everyone
already,
believes.
mate.
Like, geez, how can they do this? Not
Today's
wanting
gotten
to.
to the point where things on the internet can be counted as a war. Freaking
Mm-hmm.
freaking
And
4chan
like,
could be raiding Tumblr, man. That's a freaking war.
I mean, I can't. I'm not just taking all the credit. We could probably be the bad people too. I mean, someone on Tumblr's probably thinking when they go to a regular site, "What do you mean? I thought everybody agrees that white cis men should be genocided." I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Unfortunately for them, there is many things.
All
You
three
know.
of us are male Caucasians.
Mm-hmm. And it's hypocritical of them wanting to genocide a race when they keep calling other people Hitler. I mean,
Why does everyone talk about Hitler nowadays? Like, I know there's the memeified part, but like, some people just use Hitler as like, as an excuse or an opinion or something like that. Like,
they
Hitler's
use
just a
him.
fucking guy who.
People don't.
No,
He was
you
a
go.
very he
Hitler
was a
wasn't
oh
even the
sorry.
worst like tyrant of history. No, there is people who have killed a lot more than what Hitler killed.
So there were 6 million casualties in World War Two. Um, no,
You
not six
mean
million
in the
casualties.
Holocaust?
6 million. Yeah, the Holocaust killed 6 million Jews. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And World War
no,
Two
not
would
just
have
Jews though.
not just Jews. That was also political prisoners and those who didn't agree with the fascist regime. So it's not like they actually specifically decided to target only Jews, because while they did have a massive thing against Jews, they also just went and killed anyone that they deemed inappropriate for the Aryan race. And think of how many people from each country died from World War Two, and China lost the most people. I mean, bringing China into everything these days, but like they lost like 20 million people, and that's a lot of people because like Japan hit them pretty hard. But you know what? No one ever talks about Japan because remember the Americans nuked them.
Yeah, man. That's crazy thing. It's like whenever anyone thinks of World War II, it's mostly like Hitler and the
Yeah.
Holocaust and shit. But
Like even with
like,
World War
yeah.
One, they
What
just
about what about the people who were, made to go fight a fucking war, not wanting to actually do that, and just, small people died than just the Jews. Like, we know that happened, but like it's mostly just about that. And nowadays, I feel like,
hmm,
unless you want to like learn about World War Two, if you
I
ever
mean,
think of World War Two now, it's like Hitler,
yeah.
fucking Nazis.
I mean, even World War One, the only things people focus on is the Germans versus the Americans, even though the British fought them for the majority of the war. And these days,
Yeah.
the only thing that you could even think about, like finding about the Australia in the war, for
Oh yeah.
instance, was like first thing people think of is, oh, I played that map on Battlefield One,
Yeah.
and like that's a poor realization that the only way you can get people to look at history is like through friggin' video games.
Well, yeah. I'm sure like
And yet
some
people
video games.
demonize video games.
Oh yeah, people demonize video games, and there is some things that video games can teach you, but it really depends on how the developer, you know, does it.
Mm,
But like
right.
the thing that annoys me about those types of things is how they always make the Germans look like the bad side. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, no doubt they did their fair share of shit, and
but
that's
that
arguably.
was the entirely, like, that was more the Hitler Nazi part of it. They just
Yeah,
got a lot of German people. They probably didn't want to be a Nazi or
like,
someone that
like,
hates those types of people. They were just forced to fight in war, and they were just like everyone else. They were just the exact same people as like the
mm,
British or the Americans or the Australians. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, put it this way, I think the only thing worse than being a white male is being a German white male. I mean, let's have a look at that. I mean, imagine you're a little boy and you're forced to feel guilty for something that people did like almost a century ago.
Well, we always get we're all supposed to be guilty because of the hate on Aboriginals in our country,
Yeah,
and we're
but to
all
be
a
fair,
different generation now. That's the thing.
let's be fair, we did fuck with the abos quite a lot.
We did, but here's the thing: did I do it? Did Nomad do it? Did you do it?
No, no, like
Well,
the question these days is not whether or not somebody specifically actually did it, because these days just generalizing the like the race and the minority and then accusing them of doing it is good enough.
when people make the argument, oh, just because you have a friend or whatever doesn't mean you're not racist. Well, it's like, well, obviously, if they if they see that I'm good enough to be considered a friend of theirs, I'm not racist. Like, why
I
would they
mean,
hang out with me, call me their friend, if I'm just like belittling them as their race or culture?
I'm pretty sure a really good comeback in this situation is to just call them a bigot and say that you don't see race, you see people. Like I don't see races and minorities. I see people. I see humans, and that'll just shut them up pretty well, actually. But yeah, it's a strange world we live in.
There's just too many people, too many opinions, and the internet just gets all fucking,
Well,
crazy down there.
we're also looking at a situation where a bunch of people who think they can get away with being assholes on the internet can, because they're behind the safety of their keyboard and monitor.
Sometimes that doesn't even turn out that way though. Like, you hear those stories about people who made fun of someone and they actually go over to their house and stab them. Just
I
by
don't
like
forget all
fucking
the
with him.
stories about. Don't forget Twitch people getting like stormed by the police because somebody's found out where they live and told the cops that they like murdered their whole family.
That's fucked.
Yeah, in like America, they'll pretty much just bust down your door and hold you at gunpoint until they prove otherwise. Whereas I remember reading about something about somebody having this done to them in England, and pretty much what happened was one cop went up to their door, knocked on it, and like, hello, we've gotten a call that said that you may have murdered your whole family. Is this true? And so obviously the guy's like, no, and he's like, oh, well, that's good then, and then they just left. Because unlike America, Britain has gun laws, and also
Yeah.
it's they're gonna take everything with a grain of salt.
Like there was a point in time where I thought like I wanted to actually do Twitch gaming, but I was like thinking, oh fuck, what if someone wants to do that shit or whatever, like Siege or whatever, and I was just like, oh wait, I live in Australia. But would they still do that over here? I'm sure they
In
do
the
have
event
those
in
sort of things.
Australia, in the land of Oz here, if you're subject to a home invasion, the Australian police will ask you to pretty much curl up into a small fetal position, much like the logo of the Binding of Isaac, and wait till it's over because we're not even allowed to hit intruders to our own home. That's still assault.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've been streaming for 56 minutes. All right.
Wow.
I think
How many people?
We're supposed to be interviewing Cole. I feel like we're interviewing Jed.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
Well,
think that's pretty good, I guess, though, because
Yeah.
I'm
well,
not on streams a
we
lot.
should end it once a stream catches up, which is I feel like it's like
Yeah.
20 minutes behind.
Hmm.
If you
Yeah,
check
I
right
looked
now.
on the. I'm not gonna bother looking at the stream. I mean, I took a look at it, and I don't like the sound of my own voice, so hey.
We're talking about the flag still.
Really?
That's incredibly ironic from some people who preach peace yet censor those by calling them fascists. I mean, they're the
Oh, yeah, so that's actually quite a few minutes behind, isn't it? Is that because of the upload speed?
I don't know, man. Fucking Australia. Fucking hell. Hate it.
Yeah.
Pissing me off.
Oh, if Shire still wanted to do that whole flag thing in the real world, I
no.
think the best thing
That's
he
my
could have
Don't
done.
forget the whole whites can't be racist,
Oh.
and if you're white, then you're inherently
The
racist.
best thing like
no, whites
Shire could
can't.
do with
no,
that flag,
right,
if he wanted to
hang on a
continue
second.
placing it in the real
Whites
world, was
can't
like
be
he'd find a
victims.
secluded
They can't-
location.
You can't be racist to a
But
white
then
person.
he'd set up a camera and then he'd delay the stream
Remember that?
by a
ridiculous,
few
like, what
hours
equality is
because
that?
then no one would find it.
It isn't because
But
Is
hey,
this because
that's just
there's
me.
been more racism towards black people and oh, now we're talking about black people. Okay, this is like
That doesn't mean that a
um
white
yeah,
I think
it was
the
my
big-
phone that was delaying it.
Won't it be
You're
ironic
discriminated.
when we're editing a
think a
stream,
big
or
thing too
you
is
guys are editing a stream about us talking about how we can hear ourselves on a stream before we're hearing ourselves on a stream?
That'd be great.
Is streamception.
Alright, you know what I'm gonna do?
So-
I'm gonna flash the Discord background, and that means I can end the stream at that point. So, say goodbye, everybody.
Well, I'd like to hope that we raked in some views. Hey,
Yeah,
gotta bring in them dollar bills, y'all.
yeah, boy.
I'd like to extend a warm thanks to y'all for having me here.
Yeah, no
You're
problem.
welcome.
I hope I can be on lots, but can't
Yeah.
guarantee that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can come in whenever the hell you want.
Yeah. So like yeah, that's pretty much it. Like
Santa was
goodbye, y'all.
non-existent this episode.
Yeah. He's
That's
okay.
alright. He's not
Well, it's
obligated to be here.
Well, it's been great having you.
I mean, this is your stream, so it's not like we're reliant on him.
Hmm.
Well,
I just
anyway,
point you in a
I
direction.
mean, I think that's a ball game then, isn't it? One of
Yep.
oh good night and or good morning, good evening, and good night.
We're not
Those
ending,
who are
not in the
watching.
stream just yet, but once it comes around, once it catches up to the point where I flash the Discord screen, that's when I'll end it.
Yep.
Alright. About
Well, say
4 years that this incessant
Yep,
campaign
for those of you at home
demonizing the
who
white
probably
person
in different
has been going on.
time zones, good morning, good
And I
evening, good
mean,
night.
sure, there's much to be
Yeah.
decided on our
I
part
should
when
probably
it
come up
comes
with a
to
username.
making sure that
Are you
everyone's
ready,
equal.
Francis?
That
But,
sounds like a good idea.
As far as they're
Okay,
concerned,
well,
they think that hate
was
is
very
a
interesting.
cure for hate.
Very engaging topics.
I thought so.
Yes. Well,
I
guess we'll see you
especially
next
enjoyed the ones about the pigs,
time.
which was